Alrighty, I haven't written anything since high school, so this could be pretty bad. But I wanted to give a grandchild's perspective of our Nan. I got the pleasure of getting to spend a lot of time with Nan growing up, with Mum being a single mother for most of my pre-teenage years and working full-time. Nan filled in the gaps when needed and has basically been a second mother to me. From my kindergarten days in Coburg, where Nan would pick me up and keep me entertained till Mum got home, through to my primary school years where I would spend many weekends and most Thursdays at Nan's with one of the Wriggler boys. We'd all love it because she would spoil us. She'd take us to the biggest lolly shop in the world or give us a few dollars and send us to the milk bar to buy our own lollies. She'd let us take over her TV, which must have been one of the first to have Foxtel in Melbourne. She'd let us stay up to midnight watching the footy show, and of course she'd let us eat all the food our parents wouldn't. There'd be fresh packets of Pringles, chocolates, slabs of Coke, and an 8-litre tub of ice cream in the freezer. No one will ever forget those chips. There was even one time Joel was sick, and Nan was called in to babysit for the day. She managed to get me the day off school too, and took us for a drive to Emerald while we just ate chocolate in the back of the DeVille, regaining Joel's health. She was always so kind and generous. She'd rather drive her grandkids halfway across the state than to put them on a train, just to see them get to their destination safely. I have many backseat memories of classic songs like the Elvis one, I think is getting played today. Mum and I moved to East Gippsland in '98, but I made up for lost time after I finished high school by coming back to Melbourne and living with Nan and Pop for 7 years, in between some stints of travel. And she was just the cutest. She'd have dinner ready when I got home from work, mainly because I got home at 7 and they ate dinner at 4. She'd make me sandwiches for lunch even when I told her I was fine to do it by myself, and she'd refuse to take money off me for board. I did try, Mum. She'd always be buying me some new yummy snack and was so proud of herself when she got one that I really enjoyed. The next week there'd be at least 3 packets of them in the house. I'm going to miss her amazing zucchini slice and pumpkin soup. I asked some of the grandkids what their favourite memories of Nan were, and most found it too hard to pinpoint one. It all just came back to her overwhelming generosity and love for her family. From being at every birthday, wedding or dance recital to giving us $5 for lunch money, which in the 90s could have bought half the canteen. The never-ending supply of scarves, and we all agree that she has passed on her sweet tooth gene, so her legacy will live on through all of us. In her later years, after I'd finally moved out, I dropped around to visit, and she'd informed me that she'd been waving at every plane and helicopter flying over the house in case it was me on a flying lesson. And I saw more of a cheeky side as she laughed the loudest at all the dirty jokes on the TV show 2.5 Men. Through all this time together, we developed a bond that will stay with me forever, and that I can only hope I can share again when I have grandchildren one day. She was such a beautiful, kind and generous grandmother, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of all the grandchildren when I say just how much we will miss Nan, but how lucky we were to have her in our life for so long.